Are you ready? It's time to start Ginger's Kitchen Bench Pillow. Hey everyone, Cristin here, and we are starting our next group project. So we are going to work on Ginger's Kitchen Bench Pillow. This is with our sponsor, Binded by Stitches. So if you haven't gotten your supplies yet, make sure to get those ordered now. She's shipping very quickly. Everything is on the website. It's a really good website. So check here. I'll add a link here. This is directly to our sponsor, and it even goes directly to our products needed for Ginger's Bench Pillow. So Binded by Stitches, that's our sponsor, and you want to use coupon code Cristin Creates to get 10% off and free shipping if you spend over $100 on everything that you purchase. And also don't forget to get your quilting designs from their link as well. So the link for that is underneath this video in the video notes. There's a direct link for their affiliate link to Kimberbell. It brings you to Kimberbell, and then you just type in whatever quilting design that you want to find through there. All right, so we're going to use various different ones. I'll show you each day which ones I'm going to mention, and I'll always tell you that you can use whichever designs that you like. So a lot of us just finished up the We Wish You a Merry Christmas quilt, and a lot of the quilting designs that I'm going to use are the same ones that we used in that project as well. So if you purchased for that project, then you're probably already set. If not, then we'll tell you which ones as we go. All right, so we're going to start out pretty easy. We're going to have an easy day today. So we're going to do our project in different order than in the PDF that's on the CD. So on the CD, a lot of people always ask, well, where's the booklet? The Kimberbell makes a book for the quilts, but for the bench pillows, it's almost always on a PDF that's on the CD. All right, so your CD is on there, but you really won't even need it. I'm going to tell you step by step everything needed. So this is our first project, first video of this project. So I want to remind you to make sure to subscribe. There's a little subscribe button at the bottom, and you want to click on that and then click on the bell to get notifications so that you'll know whenever a new video is posted. All right. So today we are going to start out with Gingerbread House A. That's what we're going to do today. So grab your packet if you made packets. If you haven't ordered packets, I'm going to give you a link to my Amazon store. In that Amazon store, it's got all the items that I recommend highly for using these, for making these beautiful projects. All right. So the packets are super easy. So a lot of us did the packets. You go ahead and write whatever works for you. I always just put the page number, excuse my dog shaking, the page number, and then I put the block, and I've got one packet for pretty much every block. All right, so we're going to do Gingerbread House A. There's a lot of pieces to this one, so let's go ahead and go over it. So like I said, we're going to start out easy. This will be an easy block. There's a lot of pieces to it though, so you'll be able to try different elements. So one thing though is that the final cut size of this is 6.5 by 6.5. So that means that we're going to want a quilting design that is 6 by 6. So if you have a smaller hoop, like a 5 by 7 hoop, you'll need to do 2 hoopings. And we'll go over that a little bit more as we get to the quilting part, but you will want to do a double hoop. So a 4 by 6 quilting design and a 2 by 6 quilting design will get you there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a link here to one of my 5 by 7 videos. So in that video, it'll tell you everything. So depending on what hoop size you want to use, if your biggest hoop is a 5 by 7, then like I said, double hooping. If your biggest hoop is a 6 by 10, that 6 by 6 quilting design will not actually fit in your hoop, and you'll need to take out steps 3 and 4 of the quilting, which are the placement and tack down of the main fabric. That makes the design 6.5 by 6.5. And I go over all of that information and show you step by step in any of the 5 by 7 videos. I've got a whole bunch of them, and so I'm not going to do another one separate to this video. And we are starting with a bigger block, a 6 by 6 final. 6.5 by 6.5. So I do want to mention that. Make sure to watch if you're using a smaller hoop, whether it's a 5 by 7 or a 6 by 10, make sure to take a look at that tutorial. All right, so let's go over what we need for today. So we're going to start with our main fabric. So our main fabric is this gray with white dots, little white dots on there. All right, gray fabric. And make sure always to back your main fabric with stabilizer. I like to do it on pretty much all of the fabrics, but I especially highly recommend you doing it on your main fabric so that you don't get puckering. All right, so you can see I've used the fusible backing stabilizer on the back. I cut it in just a little bit so I can see it, but that's up to you if you want to do that or not. So our main fabric on this one is going to be 8.5 by 8.5. And remember, I mentioned that we're going to have our final cut size be 6.5 by 6.5. So we always start with it bigger. And the reason for that is because as we stitch, that stitching can make the block come smaller. It'll tighten up a little bit from those stitches. So we always start with our fabric larger, and then after we finish all of the stitching and the quilting, then we will cut it down. So start with your main fabric at 8.5 by 8.5 for this main fabric, for our main background piece. All right. And then we have our door. So one thing I forgot to mention is that we have a lot of substitutions for this. This is an older project from Kimberbell, and our sponsor was able to make a fabric kit for us using various substitutions. So I'm going to show you both. In almost every situation, I think I have the original. So I'm going to show you both the original and the substitution. So the original was this green with multi-dot colored dots on it. All right, multicolored dots. And we're going to start with this at 2 by 2.5. And I did back mine with fusible stabilizer. Again, the applique pieces, that's optional, but I like to do it just to make sure I don't get any puckering and no problems, and it stays nice and flat and neat. So 2 by 2.5. This is the original. If you bought a fabric kit years ago, then you probably have this one. If you bought from our sponsor, they were nice enough to curate a package for us, a fabric kit, and they used this green doodle. So you can see it's got a bunch of Christmas doodle designs on it. How cute is that? So either one, whether you're using the original fabric or the new substitute fabric, you want 2 by 2.5 for the door. All right, this is for the applique door. All right, and then the next one is the silver mylar. So this came in the embellishment kit from our sponsor. I have a few various pieces, so I didn't already cut mine just because I have pretty limited pieces left over from other projects. So I'm using that. So silver mylar, we want this to be, let's see, if you cut it, you want 3.5 by 6, all right? 3.5 by 6 for this. And like I said, I didn't pre-cut mine. I'm just going to lay it down and to be able to utilize as much as I can. You can see I used it on a couple other projects, but I have enough that I can still use it. So 3.5 by 6 is what we'll need for the silver mylar. And this is for the candy canes. All right, 3.5 by 6. All right, and then we have our applique glitter. So this is the glitter vinyl. All right, if you can see that, it's sparkly and pretty from Kimberbell, the white vinyl. So whenever we use our vinyl, we want to make sure to take off that topping. That's super important. All right, it always comes, the Kimberbell vinyl comes with this sticky topping, and we want to make sure to take that off, and we're just going to use the vinyl. All right. So on this one, it's a pretty big piece. We want 5.5 by 5.5, 5.5 by 5.5. And like I said, we're going to take off that topping. All right. And one other thing is this one's a little different. So in the directions on Kimberbell, it always tells you to put it down, trim it, and then you iron it with it covered. Make sure it's covered, by the way. Vinyl, you always want to cover it. So you would cover it with like an old pillowcase or some sort of pressing mat, and then you would iron it to make it stay there. Well, on this one, we're actually not going to do that. You can if you want to, but it says in the directions. I thought this was interesting. I think this is the only time I've seen this from a Kimberbell project, but it says, in the sample, the glitter sheets were not pressed down to give them a slightly puffy look to make snow look fluffy. All right, and that's pretty interesting. So I'm pretty sure I won't iron mine. I'll probably try to still point out in the video in case you choose to iron it, because we're used to ironing this glitter vinyl, but we don't need to on this one. So again, the glitter vinyl, it's going to be 5.5 by 5.5, 5.5 by 5.5 for your glitter vinyl, the white glitter vinyl. That's going to be for the snow. All right, and then the next thing is our felt. So the Kimberbell felt, I think it's called Cookie. It says Felt House Cookie. All right, so it's for the house. Oh, because the gingerbread is going to look like a cookie, maybe. How cute. All right, so on this felt, we want a piece that is 4.5 by 5. So it's going to go this way, 4.5 by 5. Because of the chimney, I think it's a little taller than it is wider. So 4.5 by 5 for the felt. And you don't back felt with anything. Same with vinyl. Don't back it with anything. I back all of my fabric pieces with stabilizer, but don't do that on felt or vinyl. All right, so leave it as it is. 4.5 by 5 for the house cookie. Cute. All right, and then we need our batting. So whenever we quilt in the hoop, we always use our batting. So our batting for this block is going to be 7 by 7. Since our final cut size is 6.5 by 6.5, that means that we want a piece of batting that is 7 by 7. I'm using the Kimberbell project batting. I love it. It works so great on projects like these. So our batting 7 by 7 for this project. All right, and then we're going to quilt this in the hoop, and I will show you how to do that step by step. If you haven't done it, just literally follow step by step. I promise you won't miss anything. So I'm going to use a 6 by 6 quilting design. I've chosen Christmas 2. That's the one with candy canes. I think that would be really cute on this gingerbread house, and the gingerbread house has candy canes too. I think that would be really cute. Another cute option would be Christmas 1, which is the one that has gingerbread on it, but I'm saving that for later personally. But any quilting design that you want that is 6 by 6. All right, so I had someone ask in the group the other day if they can use a different quilting design that's not Kimberbell. And like I said, you can use any quilting design that is 6 by 6, but she was having problems because it didn't have the placement and tack down for the batting. They are different, right? The Kimberbell ones are pretty unique. So you have to look at that manufacturer's description and how to use it and all of that. But for the Kimberbell quilting, sorry, I almost said batting. For the Kimberbell quilting, I will show you step by step. There are 5 steps of the quilting, and I'll show you in photos the step-by-step process. So again, I'm using Christmas 2. If you haven't purchased that one and that's the one you want to use, it's got the candy canes and peppermints on it, then make sure to use our affiliate link for our sponsor. They get a little kickback from Kimberbell when you purchase anything using their affiliate link. So that is underneath this video. So make sure to click on that and it'll take you to Kimberbell. And then in the search bar, you just type Christmas 2 or whichever quilting design you're looking for. All right, so that's what we're gonna do today. Pretty easy day, just one simple block to get us started, get us back into our project. So let's go ahead and get started. always get questions about my embroidered shirts, so I'm going to show you this one that I'm wearing today. Says, what is it? Embrace all that is you, with the sunflower. Pretty design. This is from Designs by Juju. I will add a link to the packet that I bought it from, because Designs by Juju, you get like a whole packet of designs. So I will include a link underneath this video. The shirt is a really old shirt from a really old shop. I don't even remember actually, but fun design. I really like this. It embroidered really well. So I'll include all the information with the direct link underneath this video. All right, so every project, if you know Cristin Creates, I always ask you to create a goal. I want to hear your goal. Whatever your goal is for the length of the time of this project, I'd love to hear what it is. I have one that is very different for me this time. So some ideas of goals can be cleaning out your craft room, working on old projects, exercise, getting your body movement, eating healthy, drinking all the water that you're supposed to have in a day. All kinds of little things that will just help keep you motivated, keep you on track. Really good goals. And I ask you to check in and hold yourself accountable and tell me how you're doing with your goal. I love to hear about them. So my goal this time is really different. This one's a stretch for me. So I am going to, on each video, I'm going to pick out a word or a set of words of something that works with our mental health, basically, and things that help us to improve and help us to be at our best, be our best selves, okay? So this one is a little bit different for me, just keep in mind, but I really like it. I'm excited about it. I've already come up with several ideas. So today's is Let Them. All right. Have you heard about this movement? So I first saw it on Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins has this podcast and she's pretty awesome. She's got a lot of good information. She interviews various people that bring so much information. The first one that I watched was with Dr. Ramani about narcissism, and I found it so helpful, so interesting. So anyway, now there's this one about Let Them. So I printed it out and I'm just going to read it to you. You may have already heard about it. I think it's pretty amazing and very freeing. So let me just read this to you. All right, so Let Them. And it shows with this gal, she's got a tattoo on her hand right here, and it says Let Them, and there's a little heart. And that's how it starts, okay? So just let them. If they want to choose something or someone over you, let them. If they want to go weeks without talking to you, let them. If they are okay with never seeing you, let them. If they are okay with always putting themselves first, let them. If they are showing you who they are and not what you perceived them to be, let them. If they want to follow the crowd, let them. If they want to judge or misunderstand you, let them. If they act like they can live without you, let them. If they want to walk out of your life and leave, hold the door open and let them. Let them lose you. You were never theirs because you were always your own. So let them. Let them show you who they truly are, not tell you. Show, not tell. Let them prove how worthy they are of your time. Let them make the necessary steps to be a part of your life. Let them earn your forgiveness. Let them call you to talk about ordinary things. Let them take you out on a Thursday. Let them talk about anything and everything just because it's you they are talking to. I'm going to get emotional. I always do. Excuse that. Let them have a safe place in you. Let them see the heart in you that didn't harden. Let them love you. And then it's written by Casey Phillips. So I think that this is so good because it's so hard in life, but we have to understand that everybody's got their own path, and it's so important to understand that we can't control others, we can't control situations. If people are going to see something in you or judge you or whatever that isn't there, that's their stuff. They're projecting their stuff onto you. Let them. I think that is just so good and so freeing, right? Because We don't have it in us to change someone else. We don't have that ability. They have their own path with their own higher power that is teaching them. And if they're not ready to learn what is being given to them, that's their stuff, all their stuff. We work on ourselves. We be our best selves, and we can't change someone else. So let them do what they're gonna do, whatever that is, and just work on you. Always be your best self. Give your all to your situation. Don't try to change other people. Don't try to have them see you in a different way. They're going to do what they're going to do, and just be you. So embrace all that is you. Okay, so that's my message for today. I think it's a really, really good one. I found it very freeing, very helpful, and I hope you do too. Don't forget to share with me about your goal.